Very good evening, all of you. Give me a couple of minutes, guys. We are expecting a few more participants. Just give me a couple of minutes. Yeah, let's get started, guys. First of all, warm welcome to Fusion Technical Training by UnoGeeks. As this is the first class for your batch, so let's get to know each other. Let me start with myself. This is Ishwar, and total I have 15 plus years of experience. Currently, I'm working as a technical architect in one of the top-based US company. And from last 7 to 8 years, I'm completely involved in the Fusion implementations. Before Fusion, I was working in EBS applications. So believe me, and my experience, I will try to cover what are the technical areas that you need to know as a technical consultant if you want to start your career. Okay. So that's all simply about myself. And if possible, could you please unmute yourself and maybe you can tell your name and tell me your experience also. The reason I'm asking for your experience is if I know the experience of you guys having EBS or not, for me it will be easy to fine tune the course content. So accordingly, I can fine tune the course content, whether you have the experience or not, or you are a fresher, or if you don't have any ERP background, so that it will be easy for me to fine tune the course content. Please go ahead, guys. Could you please unmute yourself and just say two liner about yourself?
Yeah, this is Badri, having 10 years of experience in EBS and OF.
You have experience in EBS, yeah. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Badri. Yeah. Please go ahead, guys. Hello, guys.
Hi, this is Suchandra. I
Yeah.
have experience in Java of the
Okay.
5 years of experience. Now I am looking for some change in the Oracle bus. So I am just new to the ERP.
Okay. Fine. Fine. Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Hi, good evening to everyone. Myself, I'm Ripendra. I'm having around 12 years of experience as a PL SQL developer, and
Mhm.
I'm new to the ERP.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Fair enough, Indra. Please go ahead, guys.
Hi, Vikil. I'm Ritunjay. I have 2 years experience in EBIS.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Please go ahead, guys. The remaining guys.
Hi, my name is Varaprasad Reddy. I have around 11 years of experience. I have experience into Oracle Labs Technical around 6 years.
Okay. Okay. So you want to switch your career to Fusion Fusion consultant?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you ask me, yes, all the EBS consultant has to migrate to Fusion. Most of the customers are on the way. So there are few leftovers in the customer side. Yes, we have to migrate. I will talk about why we have to migrate to Fusion rather than EBS. I will talk about in a while. Yeah. Thank you guys. Please go ahead. Okay. Want to speak? That's fine. Yeah. So this is the agenda for today, guys. I think I will not be able to cover everything for today. So let us see how far we can progress. So first we'll talk about the introduction of ERP. What is a Fusion Cloud applications? And what are the different types of product families available in Fusion? And we'll talk about the architecture as well. And from the fourth point onwards, of course, these are the technical areas that you are interested in. So we'll talk about what is a data load, extraction, and the reporting tools and personalization. I will give high-level overview, and we have detailed classes for all these of topics. And first, we'll start with the introduction of ERP applications. So, what is an ERP, guys? Can somebody answer who has experience in EBS? Maybe you can share your experience. What is an ERP? Why do you need
ERP
ERP
is
first of all?
ERP is nothing but an application which is
Mm-hmm.
used to maintain and
Mm-hmm.
track each and every transaction or any data
Mm-hmm.
within the organization. Why it
Okay.
is required in the sense, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
to maintain the business effectively
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
to track the each and everything what is
Mm.
happening within the business.
Yeah. Agree with you. Yeah. Please. Anyone else want to define the ERP? Okay. So let me elaborate on that. Some of them doesn't have experience on ERP. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. What do you mean by enterprise? Maybe you can take in a simpler words. It's a business, or maybe in any organization who is running the any firm or any business. So enterprise resource plan. What are the resources that you need any for running any business? Generally, I'm asking guys. To run any business, what do we
Maybe
need first of all?
manpower, machinery,
Manpower. We need manpower, right?
manpower,
What
manpower,
else?
machinery,
We-
equipment.
Equipment. What else we need? Money also, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So on a high level, the important resources for any ERP, for any enterprise is money, machinery, manpower. So ERP is not only the term which has been introduced with Fusion or yesterday or today. So that has been there from last 20 years. So before ERP products comes into the market, so there are many products in the market. For example, SAP, you have Oracle EBS, you have Microsoft Dynamics. There are many products you have in the market. So from last 2 to 3 decades, the ERP applications are there in the market. So before ERP, I mean to say maybe I can take you back maybe 1980s or maybe 1990s, somewhere around that. So before during that days, so there is very less interaction between all the systems. What does it mean by all the systems is, for example, manpower. So manpower is to maintain manpower data. I mean to say manpower data is to maintain in different applications. Money details will be maintained in different applications, and machinery data is to maintain different books or different applications. So there will be a very less interaction between all these systems. But once ERP comes into picture, so all these systems are tightly integrated and they can talk each other. What does it mean by is whatever the data that you have in maybe manpower data, for example, HCM data in a simpler words, you can access in other modules also. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, which is nothing but simply a software which you can make effectively use to run your business smoothly. To run your business smoothly. So for example, guys, maybe if you install something, maybe I'm just giving hypothetical example. For example, if you install maybe any antivirus software in your system, what's the advantage you're going to get? So that will the threats and everything that will take care of. Similar to that is a software. ERP is also one of the software that you will be using to manage your business, the resources effectively. The resource will be managed effectively. So there are many departments, like for example, manufacturing department, you have finance department, you have human resource department. There are many departments in any organization. Maybe every organization may not be using all these, But on a high level, like, these are the departments in any of the organization. So all these systems are combined together, and so the vendors like Oracle has come up with a product called Oracle EBS. Oracle EBS. So that was an on-premise application. That was an on-premise application. Now currently Oracle is in handling Oracle Fusion application. That's a cloud application. I will talk about what is a on-premise, what is a cloud. Just give me one more minute. But just try to understand what is an ERP. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. It's a software that helps organizations streamline the entire business process. Okay, like including finance, HR, supply chain, procurement. These are the departments. So all those departments will be under one umbrella. So in one software, so they can talk each other, they can integrate it each other. So that is the use of an ERP product. Okay, so there are many ERP products in the market available. Currently, Fusion applications, you have SAP, Dynamics, as I said. So integrated suite of business applications grouped into different product families. Okay, so before I talk about product families, let me talk about what is an on-premise application first. What is a cloud application? So let's try to understand in detailed way. Then after we'll come back to what are the product families available for our Fusion applications. Okay, let me open one of the Excel. Yeah. So for example, guys, maybe I'm taking one of the client as an example. So Emerson I'll be taking. So Emerson want to implement ERP product in their organization. Emerson want to implement an ERP product in the organization. So obviously, so when they want to implement ERP product, so they will inquire what are the leading ERP vendors. They will inquire in the market. Obviously, Oracle is one of the vendor, and Oracle is offering Oracle Fusion applications. Maybe Oracle EBS also. Maybe if I take you back the landscape of IT industry, maybe 20 years back, they were offering Oracle EBS also, and they will SAP, and there are many products as I said. So for example, they finalized Oracle EBS. Okay, Oracle, they finalized Oracle EBS they want to implement. I'm not talking about nowadays, guys. If I take you back maybe 15 or 20 years back, so they inquired about what are the ERP products, and they have SAP and EBS. So they finalized Oracle EBS. So they finalized Oracle EBS, and they want to go ahead with the Oracle EBS implementation. So when they want to implement Oracle EBS on-premise application, when I say on-premise, the first of all, Emerson has to buy the servers. Emerson has to buy the servers, and they have to keep it in their premises. Once the servers are ready, so they will buy a software, they will buy the licensing from Oracle. As they finalize, Oracle is the vendor they want to go with. So they will finalize the Oracle EBS they want to go with. So they will buy the licensing from Oracle EBS, and they will install the Oracle EBS application in their servers, which are there in their premises, which is there in the premises. They will install that. So to buy the servers, they have to put lot of money. I mean to say capital expenditure. They have to put lot of capital expenditure to buy the servers first of all. So once they buy the servers, yes, they will onboard Oracle Apps DBA. So they will onboard Oracle Apps DBA, and they will get the software, they will get the licensing from Oracle, and they will install that, and patching and maintenance activity, everything. It's a Emerson responsibility. So I'm just taking an example of Emerson. It's Emerson responsibility to maintain all the application, disaster recovery, the patching and maintenance activity. Everything will be taken care by Emerson team itself. Everything will be, or maybe they might have outsourced the implementation to some other company, maybe Deloitte or Oracle or some other third-party vendor. But it's everything will be taken care by Emerson itself. Okay, that is on-premise application. So the servers will be there in your premises, in your company itself, and the patching and maintenance activity will be taken care by the apps DBA team. But nowadays, why cloud applications are very famous? The reason is whatever the capital expenditure the customer want to put upfront before they start the implementation, they no need to worry about that capital expenditure. So what they will do? Simply Oracle, they will approach Emerson will approach Oracle. They will take the licensing. They will take the licensing. Just for the licensing, they will pay. Just they will pay for the licensing. And Oracle will take care of the patching and maintenance activity. So the capital expenditure, no need to put upfront. They will take the licensing and they will start implementing. The functional consultant will do the configurations in the application and they can start using the application. It's as simple as like you just plug and play. We'll take the licensing and you can start building, you can start using the application. So do the configurations as per your client requirement and you can start using the application. And another advantage is, so in EBS application, traditional on-premise application, the implementation time was very, very high. So in my experience, I'm talking about even if the mid-range of customer, we used to implement 6 months to 1 year time we used to take. We used to travel to on-site and we used to implement the um, on-premise application, EBS application. But nowadays, the implementation time has come down drastically. So in recent times, we went live within just matter of 45 days. We just onboarded and within the 45 days, we went live. That much fast you have. That much fast implementation you can make it with respect to the implementation time. So capital expenditure no need to put front, and the implementation time also has come down drastically. And moreover, the headache part, the patch, maintenance and patching activity, the maintenance activity, everything will be taken care by Oracle itself. So what you will do, you will just take the licensing, you pay as per the your license. So that is a reason. That is a reason Oracle Fusion applications are very famous. Not only the Oracle Fusion, I'm saying nowadays why the cloud applications are very famous is because of these three main reasons: because of capital expenditure, because of the time, the implementation time, and moreover, the maintenance activity will be taken care by the vendors itself. That is the reason most of the customers are going for Fusion Cloud applications itself rather than going with the traditional on-premise applications. Is it clear, guys? Anybody has any questions on this? Why the cloud applications are very famous in the market nowadays? Is it clear for everybody? Even if it doesn't have the EBS experience also, I'm talking about. Okay, I will take it as clear. Yeah. So let's talk about our Fusion Cloud application first of all. So it's an integrated suite of business applications grouped into different product family. So it's an integrated suite of business applications grouped into different product families. What does it mean by product families is, let's take this slide as an example. Oracle is offering different product families. For example, you have the financials, you have the HCM, you have SCM, and you have the PPM. There are many products. I named a few here, but there are many product families. As I highlighted, so whatever the product families you have, and within the product families, you have the modules as well. Each module it has its own functionality. For example, if you take account payables module, there you will create a payable transactions, payable invoices. Or if you take maybe account receivables, you will create a receivable invoice. Each each module has its own functionality. Whenever any customer approaches Oracle, they want to buy the licensing of Fusion applications. In the initial days of the project, how the Oracle will deal is, they will approach business. What are the modules that they are using? They will study the business first of all. They will study the entire business, how the business is running currently, and Oracle sales team will suggest what are the modules will fit for their business process and what are the modules will enhance their business process. All those licensing and commercials will be finalized, and Oracle will provide the licensing for that. And out of these families, maybe one of the customer they want to go for only GL module. Yes, they can go for only GL module, and they want to go for HCM stack. So it's not like all the customer has to buy all the product families. It's not like every customer will be implementing all the product families. Some customers want to go for GL and AP. Yes, they can go for. Some customer want to go for only core HR module. Yes, they can go. So these are the integrated families. The modules within the product families can talk each other. When I mean talk each other means, so for example, you created AP invoice. You created AP invoice. So as there is a financial impact, what you will do, you will transfer those accounting entries to the GL module, right? As there is a financial impact, GL is heart of the Fusion financial applications. If there is a financial impact, yes, you will transfer those accounting entries to the GL module. Similarly, for example, in HCM side, you ran the payroll process. You ran the payroll process. That means you want to pay the salaries to the employees, and whatever the amount that has been sent or maybe paid to this employees, the amount details, the entire ledger details has to send it to the GL model. So whatever the product families you have can be integrated with each other within the product family, and even across product families also can be integrated. That is the use of ERP product. You have many departments, many modules to meet your business process requirement. So all those modules can be integrated each other. Okay. So these are the integrated product families you have and engineer to work together. For example, if you define a ledger, no need to define in each and every application. That ledger can be used across other product families also to transfer the entries or whatever it could be. And it is designed to ensure your enterprise can be modeled to meet your legal and management requirement. So what does it mean by is there are many inbuilt reports you have. For example, you have financial tax register report. So at the end of the financial year, you will submit you will get a tax declaration to government authorities, right? You have inbuilt reports available readily, and you can simply run the reports and give it to the tax authorities. Or you have account analysis where maybe your CFO want to see how much is the ledger available, how much is the balance available, how much is the expenditure has been sent over the year. All those readily available pre-built report you have available. So the straight away you can use that process. Okay, so these are the futures of ERP application. These are the benefits when you implement any ERP application in the organization. Okay, and these are the product families just we talked about, and there is an architecture here. So let's talk about the architecture. Then we will move on to the technical areas, guys. Before I move on to the technical area, this one you need to understand. Okay, so let me get into the application first. So how the application looks, just for the benefit of everyone. What is the front-end UI, how it has been developed, and what is the database, what is the middle layer. We will talk about this architecture first. You need to understand this concept, guys, before we talk about the technical components. So let me get into the application. 1 minute, guys. Let me stop sharing. Let me get the application details. 1 minute, guys. Let me share the screen. Let me open one of the application. Yeah, I'm opening one of the application. For example, Emerson has approached Oracle. So they are interested to buy the license in a Fusion Cloud application. Then what Oracle will do is, Oracle will install that in the Fusion Cloud application in the data center near to the customer base location. You might have a question that I can have base multiple locations you have. But out of those, your main corporate office where you have, of course, you can access the application from anywhere, but wherever you want to go with, you have multiple data centers across the world. Oracle is having. In Hyderabad also, we have the data center. So wherever the data center, whichever data center the customer is preferring. So in the data center, Oracle will install the cloud application and they will pass on one of the URL to the customer, to Emerson, to make it in a simpler word. So Emerson is interested to buy. So Oracle will install the cloud application in the data center. Maybe they have installed in Hyderabad. So they have base location is Hyderabad. I'm just hypothetical example case, just excuse for that. So they will pass on one of the URL. They will pass on one of the URL and one of the root user details also. They will pass on one of the root user details along with the application URL. You can sign in. You can sign in with that application. This root user will have IT security manager role. That means it's kind of a system administrator. That user will have all the privileges to implement the application. I will talk about the roles maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, guys. But for now, just think of like a super user. They will pass on one of the super user. And once the super user details and the application details are provided, so this is how the Fusion application looks like. This is how the Fusion application looks like. Yeah, you can see this is a landing page. So I logged in with the fin_impl. This is one of the super user. And whatever the modules that has been implemented. For example, let me open one of the page. Maybe let me open maybe payables module or receivables module or any module, guys. That's okay. Somebody has customized on the page, guys. Let me open one of the standard page. For example, let me open maybe a create transaction page. I want to show how the application looks like. Yeah. So for example, you have seen this application. So this is a receivables module page, one of the page where you will create a receivable transaction. So these pages has been developed by Oracle using ADFDA framework, ADF phases. Oracle has developed these pages using ADFDA phases. This is one of that framework Oracle has used. But you don't need to learn about this framework is. In EBS, we used to have Oracle, OAF, and ADF we have. But you don't need to worry about these frameworks. Oracle has used this framework to develop these pages. And in the recent times, Oracle has developed some of the pages using Redwood also. That's another framework. You have some Redwood framework. Maybe let me open one of the page. Yeah, you can see there's a Redwood page here. This is a Redwood page. Oracle has used some of the pages with Redwood framework they used to develop, and some of the pages they use ADF phases. In previous releases, it's completely ADF phases only, but in the current releases, they are using Redwood framework. But you don't need to worry about the framework stress. Okay, this is just a framework which has been used by Oracle. Maybe to make it in a simpler word for EBS consultant, in EBS we used to have the form builders we used to have. So there we'll develop a forms, we have OF pages also. Similar to that, Oracle has used these technologies to develop the front-end application pages of Fusion. Okay, that is front-end layer. This is a front-end layer, Oracle Fusion product families. And we have the Oracle database. We have the Oracle database which is used to store the data into the database. You have the Oracle database. And for example, you created a AR invoice. Ultimately, it has to store in the database. When you save something in the application, from the application, it has to store in the database tables, right? It's Oracle database only. And even though it is storing in Oracle database, we will not get access to the Oracle database directly. We will not get access to the Oracle database directly. That single word, which we will not get access to the Oracle database, is completely changes the way how we used to work in EBS. In new Oracle EBS, we used to have the database access, and we used to make any type of custom. We can alter the table, we can create a table, we can create a PL SQL package. Whatever we want to do, we can do with respect to the database as well. But in Fusion Cloud application, the access for the Oracle database is restricted. You can write only the select statement at max. There are few exceptions, but you cannot make any DML operations. You cannot make any DML operations on Oracle database. It's a very analytic, very simple layer. You can write only you can only fetch the data from Oracle database. Okay, that is the bottom layer, the database layer. And in between, you have the middleware components. These middleware components is, of course, on top of WebLogic server. This will be installed in the Oracle Data Center. On top of WebLogic server, there are n number of servers you have. Like, for example, you are running a BA publisher report. So there is a business intelligence server that will take care of for that execution part. Or maybe if you are running ESS job, that will take care of enterprise scheduler job. Or if you have identity management, if you are as you're logging with maybe some of the user, right? Maybe fin_impl you have used. We logged in with fin_impl. So that login executions will be taken from the identity management. There are n number of servers you have on top of AppLogic server. These servers maintenance activity will taken care by Oracle. We will not get access to this particular middle layer. We will not get access to the middle layer here. Only the front-end application will get an access just to perform the business process. And if you want to fetch the data which has been saved from the front-end UI, you have the Oracle database that you can use to fetch the data, to view the data. Or if you want to create a report, yes, you can create the report. So these are the three middle layer. You have the three-tier architecture you have. So these are the application, ERP Fusion application has been built. Okay. So that's all about the ERP and architecture and the product families, guys. Let's move on to the technical components. Before I move on, anybody has any questions, guys? Okay, I will take it as no. Yeah. So these are the technical areas, as I said, data loading, data extraction, data migration, I mean to say, data migration, data extraction, and we have some other components also. Let's talk about data loading first of all. Yeah. So this is one of the important activity as a technical consultant. Take a use case, guys. Take a use case. Customer is using currently maybe EBS application or maybe any third-party application, maybe SAP, any third-party application for us. So they are not happy with maybe EBS or SAP. So they want to migrate to Fusion Cloud application. They want to migrate to Fusion Cloud application. They have on-premise applications currently they are using. They would like to migrate to Fusion Cloud application. Then how do you migrate the data? You cannot ask customer to create same data again in Fusion Cloud application, right? Just like, you have taken a new laptop. Whatever the data that you have in the old laptop, that you have to keep it in the new laptop also, right? In the same way, whatever the data that you have in your on-premise application, that you have to be there in the Fusion application also. There could be millions of customers, there could be lakhs of transactions. You cannot ask the customer to create the same data again in the Fusion application, right? Then how to get the data? With the limitations of Fusion Cloud application, you know the limitations of Fusion, right? The cloud application, not only the Fusion, you know the limitations of cloud. If it is on-premise application, what we will do? Maybe EBS consultant can answer. If you want to migrate the data into EBS application, what we used to do in traditional EBS application? We used to write CTL files, right?
We are using interface.
Interfaces or conversions, right? We used to do that,
Yes.
right? But in Fusion Cloud application, you know the limitation. So you don't have anything like database access to make any PLSQL packages or maybe to make any DML operations. Then what is the option? You cannot ask customer to create the manually those millions of records. You don't have database access. With all these limitations, then how to migrate the data? That is a challenge. Okay. So to migrate this kind of data, what is there in EBS or what is there in the on-premise application, Oracle has come up with different data loader options. For example, they want to migrate maybe financials data. When I say financials, like GL, AP, AR, any module, these are the product families I mean to say. So financials data. They want to migrate GL data. For example, a customer is using EBS application. They want to migrate the GL data from EBS applications to the Fusion applications. Then how do you migrate? The way you have to follow is there is something called FBDA, file-based data import. FBDA. Let me show you on a high level. For example, if you want to migrate the data from on-premise to Fusion application, the first step you need to do is you need to follow is you need to navigate to Oracle documentation, docs.oracle.com. So let me navigate to financials. So as we want to migrate financial data, you navigate to the all books here. If you scroll down, you have something called FBDA, file-based data import. If you open this FBDA, option, so what are the modules that is supported using this FBDA? Like GL, AP, AR, receivables, payments. You have the many modules here. Out of this, for example, I would like to migrate maybe payable invoice. Maybe I would like to migrate the payable invoice, or maybe if I want to migrate GL module. Yes, you need to navigate to the GL, the module, and identify which object data you want to migrate. Maybe if you want to import the journals. Journal is a kind of an accounting entries case for non-EBS consultant, as we have Java experience guys also in the batch. Journal entries are nothing but accounting entries. So maybe to make it in how much the credit amount and debit amount. So the lines will make it. So for example, if you are interested to import the journals, you select the journal import here, and you need to download this XLS M template. You need to download this particular template. Let me download. Let me download. You open this. So once you open this, let me enable the editing. Yeah. So to make our life easy, Oracle has provided some sample data. So in this Excel sheet, we need to fill the data. You in the sense, whoever is responsible to extract the data from on-premise application. For example, customer is using EBS. Yes, as a technical consultant, we know we have the skill set, then we will extract the data from on-premise. For example, customer is using SAP. We don't know the SAP technology, right? Or how the data is getting stored in the database tables. Then what you have to do is, you in the sense, functional consultant will walk through with this template, and they will provide detailed information about these columns. And each and every column has a detailed description, and which is mandatory. You can see there is a star mark here. So in all these columns, customer has to provide the data. Either could be customer or could be ourselves also. The reason, if it is EBS, yes, we have the skill set, then they might ask you to extract the data from your side. Okay. So for each and every column, you have the comment and what data needs to be populated. For example, the ledger ID. So you don't know, the consultant doesn't know the ledger ID. I mean, to say who is extracting the data. Then where they have to navigate, they need to navigate to the manage ledgers. You have the manage ledgers page here, manage ledgers page, and they can identify the ledger. And there is a journal source here. And to identify what are the valid journal sources. Before data migration trigger this data migration activity, functional consultant has to do some configuration in the application, like defining the ledger, keeping the period open, journal source definition, journal category. They need to define all these configurations. Functional consultant has to do in the Fusion application. Functional consultant has to perform some configuration activities in the application. Then data migration technical consultant will trigger the data migration activity. So we have to input the data in a simpler words. And to summarize, we have to input the data into this Excel. This is sample data. You just delete the sample data, and you fill up the data in this Excel sheet. Once you input the data into this Excel sheet, you have to navigate to the instructions and CSV generation sheet here. This particular sheet will provide detailed information about what is a journal. Even though if you are completely new to EBS or ERP application, what is a journal, how to prepare the data, how to load the data, how to rectify the data, how to there are any errors, how to you can rectify, and what are the recommendations the Oracle is providing. All those information detailed instructions will be there in this Excel sheet. Okay, first you will fill up the data. Then you have to come back to this sheet and you have to hit this button called generate CSV. Whatever the data that you have in this Excel sheet, once you hit this particular generate CSV button, it will generate one of the CSV file. It will generate one of the CSV file into your local machine, into your local desktop. Okay. At this point, yes, the data is residing in your local desktop. Correct? Once your data is ready in CSV format, then you have to navigate to the application. And you have to submit one of the program called load interface for file import. How would I know what's the program I need to trigger? Yes, this Excel sheet will have all the information. Once you generate a CSV file button, you can see here, after you finish preparing the data, the child sheets, generate CSV file button to generate a zip file and you have to submit one of the program called load interface for file import. So this is the ESS job. This is the ESS job you need to run. So how do you run? You can navigate to the application. And you need to navigate to tools, and you need to navigate to schedule process. Tomorrow I will cover the navigation, guys. I want you guys to be comfortable in the application first. So what is a tool, what is schedule process, what is a springboard, all those navigation part I will cover it tomorrow, day after tomorrow, time permits tomorrow itself. So you need to navigate to schedule process, and you need to submit one of the program called load interface file input. This is a kind of concurrent program in EBS terminology. Guys. We will call it as ESS job, Enterprise Scheduler Service job. In EBS, we used to call it as a concurrent program. Okay, so you need to submit this program, and when you are submitting this program, it will ask you for two parameters. So here, which process you are going to trigger? The import journals process. How would you know? Here you have to select, you have the clear cut information about what is the process you need to pick it up. So you have the documentation here. The import journals process, you need to pick it up. So you can see that instruction, guys, recommendations and how to import the data. When you're importing the data, you need to select import journals process. Navigate to schedule process, and you need to select import journals process here. You can see here, import journals process. So you can select import journals here. Currently, the data is residing in your local machine, right? We generated a CSV file that is currently in your local desktop. You have the import journals you need to select, and in the data file, you need to upload your data file. You just browse whichever data file currently residing in your local desktop. You just browse that. And for example, let me select one of the GIF file. I'm just giving the dummy file, guys. You click on OK. So this will dump the data into the interface tables. This will dump the data into the interface tables. Once the data is dumped into the interface tables, interface is nothing but a kind of a interim or maybe temporary table, guys. It's a kind of a middle table. You have some base tables. Before directly dumping the data into the base tables, Oracle will do certain validations, some functional validations it will make. So before doing those functional validations, we need to keep the data into the interface tables, right? You say OK, and that will submit the data into the interface table. Once the data is available in the interface table, you need to submit one more program called import journals. So once you submit this import journals process, this will take the data from interface table and it will dump the data into the base tables. It's a two-step process, guys. From your local desktop to interface, from interface table to the base tables. It's a two-step process. Even in EBS also we used to do the same activity, right? Well, we used to write a SQL loader program. We'll dump the data into the one of the custom table. Then after we'll create one of the PL SQL package. We can call the standard PL SQL APIs, right? In a similar way, as we don't have the database access, Oracle has given this automated way. So some ESS job they have given. Loading the data to the interface, yes, they have given one of the interface program. From interface table to the base table, they have given one of the another ESS job, which will dump the data to the base tables subject to the validation. That means once the validations everything is successful, or maybe to make it in a simpler words, maybe the period is not open that you are trying to import. So the program will not allow to dump the data. It will dump the data only the which is validated properly. Okay. So this is a two-step process to import the data into the Fusion Financials. To load the data into the financials, Oracle has given FBDA. Similarly, if you want to load the data into HCM cloud applications, Oracle has given HCM data. It's a different way, guys. For the FBDA, it's a CSV file, and for HCM data loader, it's a HDL, and it's a pipe delimiter file. It's a pipe delimiter file, and I will be covering the HCM data loader also in the coming classes. Okay, and you have the spreadsheet data loaders also, and you have the SOAP and REST. These services will be typically used by the integration consultant, but I will give high level overview about what is a SOAP adapter, what is a REST adapter, SOAP services. I will be covering all these four types of integrations, guys. Okay, this is one of the major work area that you will be working in the real time as a data migration activity. And to be very honest with you guys, who is having EBS experience, what is there here? In EBS, we used to write PL SQL package, we used to write a CTL file, everything. We should have that skill set as well in EBS, right? PL SQL skill set, or maybe EBS skill set also we used to know. We need to know, right? But here,
Yes, sir.
if I load the data, what is there here? You just fill up the data, just select that button, it will dump, it will generate CSV. You submit this program, you submit this program. Even 10th grade student also can do. But your expertise is required. For example, you try to load maybe 1 lakh records. Out of 1 lakh records, maybe 10,000 has went into error. How to rectify, how to reconcile the data. That is where you have to involve more. As a technical consultant, you have to involve more on the rectification of the issues. In our coming classes, rather than focusing on the happy path, we'll focus more on the error handling. Rather than focusing on only on the happy path, intentionally we will give some errors. And after getting into errors, how to rectify, how to reprocess the data. That is where our focus will be. Okay. So this is all about inbound integration, guys. And we have one more concept called outbound integration. Yes, you have you imported the data into the Fusion Cloud application, and you need to send it to the some third-party system. Then why we are loading, why we are sending the data? You take the use case, guys. For example, you are implementing Fusion Cloud applications. Maybe your payroll data is maintained by some third party vendor, maybe Excelity Global, or maybe ADP is maintaining, or maybe benefits vendor. Maybe your company is providing insurance to employees and your employee dependents. So whichever employees has been onboarded and employee dependent details, I need to send it to third party system, right? It could be possible, right? Right? Or your any benefits provider. So whatever the employee data you have in the Fusion applications, all those dependent details need to send it to some in-house or third-party vendors, banks or payrolls or something, someone else, right? As per the client requirement. So in that case, you have to create a BA publisher report. Or you have the OTBA, you have HCM extract also. I will be covering all these 4 types of outbound integrations also. Okay. So in the real time, at least 70 to 80% of you will be your time you'll be working on these type of integrations. Either it could be inbound or could be outbound integrations. Okay. So you can convincingly say in the interview point of view also you can convincingly say majority of our work will go either inbound or outbound integration. Okay. Apart from that, yes, you have some reporting options also. So I will talk about these other slides tomorrow because I want to leave out enough time for questions. The reporting options and other work that you'll be working in the real time, the customization and security also, I will talk about tomorrow, guys. Okay. I have to stop it for today, guys. If you have any questions, just let me know. I want to leave enough time for questions.
Ishwar, Ripendra here.
Yes,
Can
please.
you show the course content? I mean, what are all the topics which we are going to cover in detail?
Uh, the course content I will go through completely tomorrow. The entire course content. You might have already with you guys. Once you inquire, you will get in the net also. You'll get 1 second. Let me show you quickly.
Yeah. And you will be covering that P2P and
Yeah, yeah.
O2P side.
I'll be covering that as well.
Yeah, hi, this is Ashok.
Yes, please, Ashok, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what is the difference, I mean, differ OIC, apart from this technical.
No. Basically, OIC is used for integration purpose. And that is not a
Okay.
ERP product. Okay. OIC is one of the product which is a middle layer component that is from Oracle. That's a PaaS application.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
This one I will be covering is a SaaS application, is a ERP application.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe
So
you
both are integration. That is not this is not an integration, right?
say again, say again.
This is not an
No,
integration,
no,
right?
no. This is completely Fusion technical. Guys, this is completely ERP application. I'll be demonstrating for next 6 to 7 weeks. This is not integration. Integration is a different course altogether, guys. I'll be covering Fusion
Oh,
SaaS application.
SaaS application. That is
Yeah,
a PaaS application.
that's a PaaS application.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. 1 second, guys. Yeah, these are the course content. I don't have the course content in detail. Yeah, I'll be covering. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'll be covering the roles. So how many hours I'll be covering here? And you have the demo packages, O2C and P2P cycles. And also I'll be covering the inbound and outbound integrations, and I'll be covering HCM extract, and I will be covering UI customizations. I will be covering FRS reports, and I will be covering fast formulas as well. Should have some course content, guys. I'm just checking that.
No, in the top, you
Mister?
number 2.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So this is the course content, guys. So you should have this, guys. You might have got from admin team. So I'll be covering this work areas, info tiles, and security, and functional setup manager, values, and flex fields. And also I'll be covering O2C and P2P cycles. Core HR is not mentioned, but I will be covering core HR also. And building a complex BA publisher report, how to customize the standard report also. And as well as disbursement payment file format customization, I'll be covering building a OTBA report, FBDA, data migration activities, STL and HDL, HSDL, and workflow approvals and notifications, and the basics of web service. Web service, like what is the SOAP service, what is the REST service, I'll be covering. And fast formulas and FRC also I'll be covering, HCM extract and customizing. Tomorrow I'll go through this course content, guys. In detail, I'll go through the course content. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So what about the course duration?
Considering 1 hour per day, guys, I'll be taking the classes Monday to Friday. Saturday I will not be taking the classes. Considering 1 hour per day and 5 days in a week, approximately 6 to 7 weeks, approximately the course duration. Okay. So every day I will be uploading the recording. So the session will be recorded. Even if you miss out the session, you can go through the recording. The recording will be access will be given for lifetime, and we will be providing application access for 3 months, guys, to practice whatever you will be demonstrating in the class. So if you want to practice, yes, you can practice in these applications. We'll be giving access for 3 months. And whatever the PPTs, if any sequels or any other documentation that I'll be showing in the class, those also will be given for lifetime access, but application access will be restricted for only for 3 months. Considering 1 hour per day, it's approximately 6 to 7 weeks. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions, guys? Okay. I will take it as no. Whatever the remaining technical components that you will be working, I will cover it tomorrow, and then after I will cover the navigations if time permits tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow, same time. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.